Novena of Holy Christmas, the beginning of the narration. Novena of preparation for Christmas. In a novena for Holy Christmas of my always amiable Jesus, at the age of 17, I wanted to prepare myself for this festivity with the daily practice of different acts of virtue and mortifications, for the special purpose of honoring the 9 months that Jesus was pleased to be in the virginal womb of Mary Most Holy. I propose therefore to make 9 meditations a day, always concerning the sacrosanct mystery of the Incarnation. First excess. Jesus in the bosom of the Father. Decree of the Incarnation. In a meditation, I propose to carry myself by thought to paradise. I imagine the Most Holy Trinity in decisive council, waiting to redeem the human race which had fallen into the most squalid misery, and from which, without divine action, it would never be able to rise to new life of absolute liberty. I then recognize the Father in the act of wanting to send His only begotten Son upon the earth, the Son assenting to the Father's desire, and the Holy Spirit pleased to be in His full consent, all for the greater good and salvation of humanity. My mind became confused, and all my being marveled at such a great mystery of reciprocal love that was so strong and so equal between the divine persons, a love which diffused itself for the copious advantage of man. I then considered the ingratitude of man, which rendered inoperative the fruit of such great love. I would have remained in this state all day, rather than for just 1 hour, had He not made me hear a voice in my interior which said, "This is enough for now. Come with me, and you will see other greater excesses of my love toward you." Second excess. Jesus in the womb of His mother. Love which reduces Him to strictures and to immobility. My mind was transported to consider my always amiable Jesus residing in the most pure womb of Mary Most Holy, Virgin and Mother. I was amazed that the great God, who cannot be contained by the heavens, would for the love of man become so small and restricted as to neither move Himself nor breathe in the maternal womb. As this consideration consumed me with love for my newborn Jesus, in my interior He said to me, "See how much I love you. For pity's sake, make a little space in your heart for me. Take out all that is not mine, so that it may give me more ease to move and breathe in your heart." My heart then felt destroyed for love of Him. Giving vent to bitter crying, I asked pardon for my failings, promising to want to be all His. I repeated the same promise day after day, but to my confusion, and to honor the truth no less, I found myself committing my usual defects. This caused me great pain, and I exclaimed, "Ah, my good Jesus, how benevolent you have been, and still are towards this miserable creature, have mercy on me always. Third excess. Devouring love. From the second meditation, I quickly passed to the third. From the beginning of this meditation, the voice inside me made itself sensibly apparent and said, "My child, place your head on the womb of my mother and meditate on my small humanity that is in there. Here my love for creature almost devours me. The immense flames of my love, the oceans and seas of the love of my divinity, reduce me to ashes, inundate me, and by far exceed every boundary, so that my love rises above everything, even over all generations, from the first to the last creature. My little humanity was also devoured by so many flames of love. Yet it devours by that same love. Do you know what my eternal love wants me to devour? Oh yes, it is all souls, my child. My love will only be satiated when it will devour them all into itself. Since I am God, I must operate as God and embrace each soul that could come into existence, because my love would give me no peace if I excluded anyone. Yes, my child, look well into the womb of my mother, and set your gaze on my humanity already conceived. There you will find your soul conceived with me, as well as the flames of my love that engulfed you completely with love for me. They will cease only when they have consumed you and me. How much I have loved you, do love you, and will love you eternally." On hearing Jesus speak these words to me, I became lost in so much love. I would not have known how to reciprocate if a voice within me had not shaken me and said, "My child, this is nothing compared to what my love can do. Press yourself closer to me. Give your hands to my dear mother so that she can hold you tightly to her maternal womb. Meanwhile, look once more on my little humanity, conceived in time, to conceive souls for eternity. This will give you an opportunity to reflect on the fourth excess of my love, which becomes operative. Fourth excess. Operating love, which from the very first instant makes him suffer the same pains of his passion over and over again. My child, if you want to pass from my devouring love to my operating love, you will discover me in an abyss without end of suffering. Consider that every soul conceived in me brings to me the burden of its sins, weaknesses, and passions. My love obliges me to carry the burden for each one, because after I conceive their souls within me, I also conceive the contrition and reparation each of them will have to make to my celestial Father. So do not marvel if my passion was conceived in me. Look well into the womb of my mother, and you will discover how much I feel and live the agony of so many sufferings. Look well at my little head surrounded by a crown of thorns, which, while cruelly piercing my skin, makes me shed rivers of very hot and bitter tears from my eyes. Yes, be moved to pity for me, and with your hands that are free to do this for me, dry the many tears I shed. These thorns, my child, are none other than a cruel wreath that creatures make for me with evil thoughts that crowd their minds. Oh, how cruelly they pierce me, a long coronation of 9 months. And as if this were not enough, they crucify my hands and feet to make me satisfy the divine justice for them. They who travel over every perverse road, commit every injustice in the temporal things of life, and traffic in every illicit way for their own profit. In such a state, it is not possible for me to move even a hand, finger, or foot. I remain immobile, either because of the excruciating crucifixion I undergo, or because of the restricted space in which I live. And I bore this continuous crucifixion for 9 months. Do you know, my child, why either the coronation with thorns or the crucifixion are renewed in me every moment? It is because mankind does not cease to conceive cruel designs, which under the form of nails or thorns repeatedly transfix my temples, my hands, and my feet. In this way, Jesus, in anguish and pain, continued to narrate what his little humanity suffered from pain, immobility, and tortures in the womb of his mother. I pass over this so as not to be too lengthy, and because my heart does not have the courage to narrate all that blessed Jesus suffered for love of us. I could do nothing other than break into a flow of tears. Soon he shook me, however, and with a feeble voice told the interior of my heart, "My child, how I long to embrace you and reciprocate the suffering love you feel for me. But I cannot do this yet, for as you see, I am enclosed in this little area which renders me immobile. I would like to come to you, but am unable, since I cannot yet walk. First child of my painful love, come often to embrace me, because later, when I emerge from my mother's womb, I shall come to you, embrace you, and stay with you. And while with my imagination I imagine to be with him in the womb of his mother, I would embrace him and press him tightly to my heart. In his affliction he once again made me hear his voice and said to me internally, 'My child, this is enough for the present. Now go on to meditate on the 5th excess of my love, which, despite the fact that it is abused and disregarded, will not retreat nor pause. Rather, it will surmount all and proceed ahead.